Satnam, MahanrajKaur here. I had to pop on and give you an energy update. What intense, amazing energy streaming to the planet, right? Because we are in this eclipse season. We are in between the eclipses, and that's when we are being worked. And this eclipse, isn't it stunning, y'all, that it is falling on election day? So an eclipse causes darkness. It causes a reset. This is a reboot on a very personal level. All of the work that we have done since 2012 that got amplified in the 2020 energetics, and the cosmology of 23 is going to make 2020 look like a walk in the park. But that's not to say that 2020 was bad. It was different. I will never be the same because of the things I learned about myself and was able to open up to. And this is what these eclipses are doing to us and getting us ready for right now as we prepare for the new year. And of course, and this energetic is landing on the United States election, and it is in the middle of our Pluto return. This is about us returning to love. This is about doing what it takes to step into our personal power. So Jupiter is in Pisces, and that has an effect right now because Pisces is the God force. So Jupiter is really comfortable in Pisces. In fact, when we didn't know about Neptune, Jupiter, was actually the ruler. Was actually the ruler of Pisces. So this is about expanding our belief in God. That's in the sky, beyond the eclipse, okay? And Mars is in Gemini. Gemini is squaring Jupiter. Our mind and how our mind affects our energy is being called to our attention. This is a long mix that we're going to be dealing with. So Jupiter's going to be in this position till about the 20th of December, but Mars is going to be about there till mid-January. And these are some players that are amplifying what is happening in the eclipse season. So when we have the eclipse, we're going to be able to see it in the United States. If you wake up, and the last time we couldn't see in America the one in May, the Scorpio blood moon. But I remember it was a couple years ago. I think it was when we had those eclipses in Cancer and Capricorn when it was going across the United States, where I set my alarm clock, because if you know me, I go to bed like at 7:30 or 8. I'm certainly not up watching eclipses, so I have to set my alarm. And I watched the blood moon eclipse. It is something to see, the way it gets so red and fiery as the earth steps in front of the sun. So I want us to think about this, that the earth and her people are stepping in front of the sun, right? The sun is pouring Scorpio, boundaries, clarity, speak your truth energy. And the earth is like, hold a second here. Blocking out the emotion of the moon. The moon is in Taurus. It's very much about our personal power, what makes us happy, what brings us pleasure. Are we feeling value? Do we feel love? This is coming into contrast, into battle a bit, so that we can have a more upgraded view of our place in life. And looking at my notes because I want to make sure I cover all of it. At the same time, Uranus is in Taurus at 16 degrees. This moon event is at 16 degrees. 16 is all about God. 16 is a Piscean degree. So this Scorpio and Taurus energy is being held in the God force. Can you have more boundaries with your personal power so that you can make it more distinct and more effective for your healing and those around you? Can you have some self-control and not just be overly sensitive or overly triggered? You may think that Scorpio could not provide that, but it can, because it's a fixed sign. And once it makes up its mind to have some healthy boundaries around something, it can do it. And that's what we need to do. And the boundary needs to, even if we say the boundary is I give everything a 9-second delay before I speak, before I even react inwardly, I give myself a moment. This is going to be key because no matter what happens in the election, we are going to be noting a huge change. And the invitation is change is needed. And there's more change that needs to come after this. And the biggest change is how the people work with it and draw us together for the highest good. This is playing out on some of the energy on a personal level that went on with you in May in the Blood Moon eclipse of Scorpio. So kind of maybe play around with that energy. It's interesting to me that GDF, because I went back and forth on this. The only reason we are doing White Tantra on Saturday is because of one of our beloved teachers. He's leaving town and he loved Immersion in Love. He's never gotten to do White Tantra. So this is White Tantra. It's not, Tony and I are not the Mahan Tantrics, nor do we think you need to be. We did Immersion in Love for a couple years, over 12 integrations in this eye-gazing technology. We also then experienced White Tantra in the Kundalini Yoga community. And so this is kind of a blend of this, leaning more into the White Tantra Kundalini community in that being in a Kriya, saying a mantra, having the eye gaze as a part of that. What it does is it polishes the personality. And I think it's so important that we're doing this work just before the eclipse, which is calling on all of us on our biggest wounds. And can we be the mama and papa of our biggest wounds? Can we be the one that maybe asks our friends and family for help, but we finally are responsible for my side of the street? And then that is the energetic that can be a part of this election and be a part of this change. The United States is only one small part of the world. But just like with you, every part counts, right? So we lean into Michael Jackson's song, The Man in the Mirror. If I don't start with the girl in the mirror, if I don't start with my own voting, my own country, if I don't start with my own family, if I don't start with my own addictions, if I don't start here, then I have no ability to be a part of the awakening and healing and transmuting the darkness and density for our world. So this is a huge opportunity to awaken our soul path, to clear karma. So we clear karma. So when we are doing White Tantra, I don't know about you, but I've done so much work on myself, and sometimes I am so really okay. I'm feeling good. I've got a love streaming. And then all of a sudden, a tone of somebody or the way they said that or the thing on the news. And all of a sudden my heart is racing. All of a sudden the other has made my sanctuary of peace unavailable. That is the biggest issue that God wants to help us with and heal. Yes. Because somebody has, used a different tone or has a different opinion than what we feel comfortable with. So that's a big part of it. This is an acceleration of our soul growth. This is a push forward. So and here's how it works. If you and I can be pushed forward, healed on a very personal and big way. Like for me, my Scorpio is, it's down there in the 4th house of my mama. So I'm healing the wounds with my mama. I'm healing my opinion of me. I'm healing my relationship to the goddess in my home. That's the boundary. That's where I learn. That's where you learn when you look at where your Scorpios. What we are getting, what the gift is where Taurus. Taurus for me is my legacy. It's my career. It's how I am seen in the world. It's what I want to leave behind. And what I want to leave behind is a stamp of love. My prayer is that a couple times in my life, I did something right. Where not only did I feel loved, that you did too. That you felt seen and you felt loved. That is my legacy. And that is why we're doing White Tantra at GDF. It is big eye gazing, like 11 minutes, 22 and 31 minutes. And then breaks and sound healings. There isn't a lot of talking because when we talk, we fuck it up, so we're not going to do that. But we're going to stay in mantra and we're going to stay in breath and we're going to stay together and we're going to heal and practice. One of the things that happens when you eye gaze is you are uncomfortable. And this is why I like to, immersion in love, we would basically just sit. Mostly we breathe. We're going to do a brief energetic of that. But in Kundalini yoga, you hold postures. And sometimes the other person physically needs to come out of it. So here's the thing. You have to work with each other. So things come up. You can get insecure. You can get agitated. You get all the feels while you're eye gazing with somebody else. And honestly, sometimes I think it's almost more enlightening to do it with somebody you don't know, because then you don't know them, right? Because all that you think you know, you're going to be running through your head if it's your husband or your best friend or your sister. But it doesn't matter because eventually it melts away, and it's just the windows of the soul and the kriya and the mantra and the energy of this starts to, like how I've experienced White Tantra in it. It opens up these cannons in my life, and information and energy and upset and like all the floodgates open and sort of clear away things. But that's not the end. Then over the next 40 days, the meaning of that, the fruition of that, what the healing of that means in your life. And we're doing this White Tantra right before a solar eclipse. Now, I know a lot of you come to us on Zoom. We're unlimited on Zoom. The only thing with Zoomies is you have to have a partner at your house with you because you need that connection. But back to the Scorpio moon. I'm sorry, I got a little off track there. This Scorpio full moon, this blood moon, is its influence is on our energy field. It's going to influence our aura and the Earth's aura. It's going to influence your pineal, your ability to intuitive. So for those of you who haven't mailed in a vote, because we're going to be doing this on, the blood moon is on election day. Intuitively, you might totally change your mind about something or have a different view on something or be able to intuitively pick up on what friends and neighbors and people need around you so you can be of assistance. This is going to bring to surface some of your deepest fears, not so that you get scared, but so that you can hear it and understand your fears and be able to move forward in your life with a deeper understanding, and you can apply love and tenderness to you. The better you get at that with you, the more tenderness and understanding you will have for the world. This is a huge, huge astrological event. And like I said, it's also held with Uranus sitting right on top of it, which means I love Uranus. Uranus is sitting in all this, and he's been playing around with us through this whole Scorpio nodal thing. And the nodes, I think, are 12 degree or something like that. So obviously they're a big play in this event, but Uranus brings something unusual. This is key. So it means that something you did not expect will happen. And let's open our heart to unexpectedly wonderful. See, we're always so I have a couple, there's half of the people so far that are signed up for White Tantra that are concerned to be with their partner. One of them is actually not a mate. 2 of them are mates, but there's that. And I get it. But Uranus is a part of this event. So how come we don't suspect that it's going to go way easier than we thought? How come we don't open up to an unexpected wave of love? So that starts this weekend preparing us for this eclipse. We are unfolding this massive amount of energy that is giving us an unexpected glimpse at a possibility for huge change. The thing with unexpected events is they jar you. And sometimes, I don't know about you, I'm a fixed Aquarius. If an unexpected change, I tend to like grip onto everything and want it to stop. Even before I know where it's going. Does anybody else do that? So what we can do is know there's going to be a lot of shifting and rocking from Monday through Friday next week. The world is going to shift and rock. The Queen's death was a big shifted rock. Believe it or not, what's going on in England is going to have a huge effect on the United States. And we have a huge effect on everybody else. And what goes on in the Middle East affects, we are so entangled. And there's a huge chance of an event, an energetic unfolding that is unexpected. And if you hold the high note, that unexpected event brings unexpected healing and unexpected love. Evil. Responsible for our energy and how it affects life. We have just finished, we're finishing actually today, the 40-day magic meditation. And if you like, you can jump on Zoom and do the last magic meditation with us at GDF today. It's no charge. And the Trishula has been this amazing Kriya that has such subtlety and huge energetic shifts and healing capacity. This is a lot like this eclipse. There is the obvious, oh my God, it's an eclipse. And then there is this subtlety leading up to it, through it, and beyond it that is offering us a way to peace, a way for humanity to choose love than we ever have. And oftentimes it comes through crisis. Crisis is what brings a liberation. We are about to have huge karmic chains cut. And the thing is when you hear something like, you're like, woohoo! But I don't know about you, but I've had huge karmic ties cut, like when I left the Soul of Yoga. And it, on one hand, yeah, but the other hand was like, because karma is not good or bad. Karma is like a lesson book. Karma for you individually, here is your lesson. These are the things that have to happen in your life so that you can become the most awesome version of you. And of course, our country, other countries, our world, Earth, all of it has these karma. Not because we need to pay something back. No. The karma is about these are the lessons you must walk through so that you can embody how beautiful and wanted and effective and loved you are in this world. And that includes all of our nations and all of our races and all of our religions. Especially with spiritual paths, I'm experiencing such coming together. And I'm also seeing in my, during this time of year, we get very, very intuitive. And in sadhana, I really sense how there is this thing about religions and spiritual paths, like they are coming together. Like I really can clearly see how so much of the wisdom of Kabbalah and the Jewish path needs to combine with the Christian path, because Jesus is a Jew, y'all, and Kabbalah and the Egyptian magic was a part of, Mother Mary and Mary Magdalene. And like now how we do it is like everything is segregated. Like, okay, we'll do the Kabbalah over here. We'll do the Jewish thing here. No, bring them together. Not to mention, I'm a yogi, right? So then there's the yogic information and the breath work and the mantra, which many of the great ones of these Christian and Judaic paths were yogis, went and was trained by Babaji so that they could embody this kind of power. Because what yoga does is it teaches us how to actually harness the sun and how to connect to our God self and how to be still and how to really, embody the soul's information. And when we have an eclipse like this, it's like the cannon opens up. And we have this Uranus thing, so something unusual might happen. So take good care of yourself. Tonight, I am leading the magic meditation, and then I'm doing this class. There are 3 things during this eclipse season that your soul is giving you. And I'm going to tell you them right now. And we're going to do a kriya and a mantra to really embody this and also close the gate of the Day of the Dead. So here are the 3 stars. The first star is this. Your soul wants you to really understand what your personal power is. What your personal power is, what does it look like? When Marcia is in her power, what kind of things just come naturally? And I'll tell you what comes naturally for me. Making people laugh. I'm not going to feel bad about that anymore. Making people laugh, making people cry. And I'm incredibly intuitive about where somebody's pain is. And you know what? The more I've trusted my intuition, it does not mean that I go right after someone's pain. In fact, Yogi Bhajan is the one that taught me this. He says, when you see the pain, he goes, you go all the way around and through the back door so that they can soften into you and trust the healing. He is so right. You don't ever go head on, especially not with a man, ladies. Okay, second thing is you're going to need rest. You're going to need to set aside times for rest through now and the winter solstice. So much has come up, so much changed. And we have the holidays. It's so weird. We have the holidays and it's like we're supposed to decorate and buy presents and all that on top of all the work you already do. It's like, so back off. Make time if you are a holiday person, then cut some stuff out of your schedule, and also get in nature and rest. You're going to need to rest. You're going to need that energy to take good care of you. And then the last one, it's kind of big, kind of heavy. The eclipse season this fall has set you up to answer this question. Why are you here? Why are you here on Earth right now? Harness your personal power and use it. Make sure you get plenty of rest. Why are you here on Earth right now? So we're going to work with this energetic tonight, and then on Saturday we will be doing White Tantra. If you haven't signed up, you don't have to have a partner. We will partner you up. If you have a partner, sign up with your partner and make sure I know that's your partner. And it's all very easy on our website, and the link is in the bio. But White Tantra, this amazing event, is going to really, it's going to do a few things for you. It's going to really open you up to what love and God really is. It's going to help you so much with social anxiety and your fear of others. And it's going to give you a new vision of your future. It's not going to turn out the way you thought. It's going to be better. As human beings, we've been here many times. And we've been through the kind of crisis that we're going through. We may not have had these kind of buildings. We might not have used this kind of power, but we've been here before. And out of greed and fear and lack of love and understanding, we kind of were wiped out. And one of the times we kind of wiped us out, we've had nuclear weapons before. I know we think that's just a new thing, but we've had them before and we've used them. Then there's also been the natural effect of certain things in the universe. So we have been here before. Trust you know more about how to carry on and what life and the people and the earth really needs. Trust yourself. Allow yourself to lay down the defenses. if you didn't have to be right, if you didn't have to defend anything, how would you choose love? And how would you help those around you feel safe enough to choose love too? We can do it. The reason I love GDF is it's a small spiritual community, and we still can fuck it up. We can still judge each other. But we are a most beautiful little group of people. And what I love about us is how raw and real and honest we are. And even when some of us have gotten rubbed the wrong way, like I did this thing, I was trying to be nice and move something along, but it actually hurt somebody's feelings. And she called me. And instead of getting all defensive like I normally, because I feel so bad when I feel like I did something wrong, right? It's like this community has taught me how to be Marcia, MahanrajKaur, and to relax. And when I relax, I give you permission to relax. Honestly, I'm so excited for humanity. I think we are sitting pretty. I know there's some to go through, but this eclipse is going to help us cut some major chains. Just remember, I'll end this with this. The reason like Kundalini activation or darshan, Yogananda used to say he could tap somebody and totally awake, but he wouldn't, because the system of the body can't really take that. It's the same way with your work and your karma and your Kundalini. You are purifying, you are dropping fear, you are dropping karma, and you are dropping it at the rate in which your body can make sense of the change in your energy, because literally the more fear and karma you drop, you are changing dimensions. Your body becomes more what it really is, which is light and space. It is a programmable space of God. The more afraid we are, we experience it as a singular, that it has weight, that it can hurt. And that is true in certain dimensions. But as we open up and how we open is dropping the karma, dropping the fear, embracing more love, we become more lighter. Light shines from us. We're not as heavy. We're not as solid. And we literally shift into a different dimension. And in different dimensions, we see different solutions. We see our world differently. That's where those answers are. The things that we think, oh my God, what are we going to do about the whole gas thing and our cars and the ozone? The answers aren't just let's get a bunch of Tesla batteries. It's so much bigger and better than that. But in order to do that, we have to have more of a massive consciousness in another dimension. And you can thank 2020 for that. Because I'll tell you this, in 2020, and I'm just going to out myself. I'm going to say exactly what I do believe there's COVID-19. I also believed how you process it did everything. And for the first time in my life, I felt I was in a different dimension. I couldn't talk about it, but the dimension I lived in, I was safe, I'm having fun, I wasn't afraid, I felt healthy. And I totally understand there was a few other streams of consciousness where it was dangerous and it was horrible. But the point is, our energy, our spiritual path, our mantra, what we choose. Hardy Jeevan, I love that man. The way he explains it's like, what do you want a bigger experience of? Do you want a bigger experience of joy or a bigger experience of fear? It's your choice. It's where you focus, and it changes the dimension. You and I are the front runners of that. And how we do this is key to the evolution of humanity. And there's tons of us. There's tons of people like you and I. And our job is to elevate and to go into those higher dimensions without judging or shaming. We have to figure a way to be in this different dimension and in a very loving, calm, inviting way. Those that feel ready to let go of some of their karma and fear are invited into that vibration. It takes practice. That's why yoga, I wish religion called it religious practice, but they don't, right? They don't do that, but they should, because all of this takes practice. I don't know about y'all, but my mom and dad never taught me this shit. My mom and dad, didn't really even teach me how to be married. I mean, it's like, this is new groundbreaking energy, and it takes practice. And here's what I want you to know. When you don't know what to do, don't do anything and don't say anything. Let it come. Don't grasp. Sit back. This is how this beautiful eclipse works. Scorpio can give you that priestess, high integrity boundaries that sits back and waits, because Taurus is delivering the value of you, the loving you, the upgrade in your life where you know your legacy is da-da-da, right? That's where mine is. Or you know that your prosperity is going to grow and be this way. So the Taurus part of the eclipse is the gift. And because it's sitting right on Uranus at the same degree, it's going to be what you don't expect. And I'm so excited. It's like, oh, I think I know. But you know what? Obviously I don't, and neither do you. The best is yet to come. So today, the 40-day ends. Today, we are at a 10-degree Scorpio sun. This is all about being solid. And 10 is actually a Taurus degree. Today is like a little prequel to the eclipse, saying, how do you feel today? And today has some jagged energy. How are you handling it? What can you do to yourself to kind of calm down the shards and the sharp edges? Can you still feel possibility and love? Can you face what you're afraid of? Sometimes facing what you're afraid of is simply saying, I'm afraid of that. You don't do anything yet. Scorpio helps us know there'll be a perfect time, and you'll know damn well when the perfect time hits. And today is one of those days where you have a real sense of that. So come join me today for the magic mantra meditation at 5:45. And then I'm going to teach this class with the 3 stars that are going to carry us. They're gifting us this from the other side of the veil, from our ancestors. Very specific energetics for each of us to prepare us for the eclipse and carry us to the winter solstice. This is going to be the most beautiful end of year, and I'm so glad I get to spend it with you. The next time we do a 40-day, it's going to be January 1st. But we will have a really awesome event for the solstice, and we will prepare ourselves for New Year's Day and a 40-day. I already know what it's going to be, and it's killer. Everybody that is doing the magic meditation, all I can say is keep doing the Trishula. Keep chanting Mane Sarat Hove Buddha. Keep chanting, because we are agreeing to be ourselves and be wise. We are agreeing so we can embrace our grace and dignity. We are agreeing so that fear of death cannot touch us. I love you all so much. Satnam, thanks for tuning in. Have a great day.